Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a nice easy job on this lovely Volkswagen Transporter T6 camper van. The lady would like to lose the double seat and we're going to put a single seat in it instead. Now it does have a swivel base, so there's a little bit extra work involved, so we'll show you how to get going on that. So we're not needing too many tools for the job. I have a 1/2" drive with an extension and a 17mm socket on this. Also a 3/8 drive with some extensions and a 16mm. 16mm heads are the original bolts to hold the seats in. A couple of adapters for my impact gun and a number 10 spline head. That's for the bolts for putting the seat in, and my trusty ratchet 13mm spanner to put the new seat in place, and 13mm M8 nuts. So let's get removing the double seat. Okay, so first up we've just flipped the front section off. I'm just going to crack these bolts to start them. They're on a 17mm head. It's nice and clean down here, so not really any obstacles. The worst obstacle actually is that bulge there, but the extension's long enough for me to get a good grip on it. That's the tightest one. Alright, now that that's the bolts out, the seat is just a case of lifting it out of the vehicle. And now we can turn our attention to getting the swivel base out. So this is a Kira Van's double seat swivel base, and in order to get to the bolts we're going to have to unscrew these. It's a very well engineered product. You can see it's been well made. I have fitted a few Kira Van double seat swivels in the past and I've always been impressed with the quality of them. Okay, and then that will reveal all our nuts and bolts that we need to get to. So these, being the original VW fixings, are on a 16mm head. So again, crack them. There should be 8 of them. Now, let's get the gun on them. As you can see, I'm just turning the seat base to gain access to all the bolts, all the nuts. Good. Now that all the nuts are away, this should just lift up and you can take that out, no bother. This is where you find all sorts of goodies. Oh, there's a 5p, that'll keep the cost of the job down. And I'm looking for here all the wiring connectors. Now they're for all the rear lights and so on. Just make sure there's nothing else. Sometimes there's a fuse. So no, that's all our connections. So let's just give that a little clean and we can put the seat base in next. So worth noting actually, I've just taken off a load of washers from all these seat studs, and it's just to pack things up to raise the height of the seat swivel base. Now I'm going to get young Dallas to clean up this mess under the seat before we fit our single seat base. Dallas is here today helping Kyle and I, so we're giving him all the menial tasks, so hopefully he passes that. Okay, thank you Dallas, that is looking so much better. I don't know what I would do without you. Alright, so we have some extra bolts for holding the double seat base on, so we need to get get them gone. This is a 22mm cranked end spanner. I could use a deep 22mm socket, but I don't have one handy, so they are really easy to take out. It's much easier to do a double seat to single seat conversion, because if you're doing a single seat to double seat, you're going to have to take all sorts of stuff off underneath the vehicle and put spreader brackets on as well. So, a piece of cake. Okay, time for the seat base. Alright, this is nice and easy. Put the seat base in place. This is an older seat base for the vehicle, so it's got this old wiring block. I'm not sure this is going to work, but we'll try it. I will see if I can find something for that. However, we'll just carry on with the job in the meantime. I just like to make sure it's properly hand tight. Okay, so we're ready for the seat now, but I'm going to find something for this. Okay, I'm just going to zip tie these slightly out of the way because I don't have an actual bracket. It'll be the one that came out of the double seat. I don't seem to have one, so this is just to keep things a bit tidier, keep things off the ground. I'm not making anything tight, just giving it a little support. Good, okay, we'll pop the seat on now. Alright, so now the seat is on the seat base. All we need to do is get the runners located, and we're using the front bolts on the seat base, and we just locate them in there. Sometimes the runners get sort of unequally run, and then once they're on, I just run the seat back, and then just by hand put the two front nuts on, and then we need to go around the back to locate the bolts at the rear. Okay, so around the back of the seat we need to get to the bolt holes, so we need to put the seat forward, and if you're lucky the runners will align, and this is why we don't tighten the front ones up until we've done the rears, because we don't want to be cross-threading anything. And once we've got all four caught on the threads in enough, we can zap them home. We'll just zap the rear ones home. They're quite small to be using an impact gun on, so sometimes I'm just quite happy to use a ratchet. Almost takes as long to get the tool in your hand, and then we'll go to the front. Alright, back at the front we can put the seat back, and here's my trusty Halford's double-ended ratchet spanner. Oh, I think I never did it before. And not all spanners will fit so neatly. I've got other ratchet spanners, but they're all too big. This one's just perfect. So I will cry if I lose this tool, because I do this job quite often. I'm just holding it in place with my thumb there. And finally, two things to do: headrest in, and I've found a rear trim, seat back trim. Job done. So that's how you do a double to single seat conversion on a Volkswagen Transporter. It works for T5, T5.1, T6, which is what this is, and T6.1. Not much difference between the job, if any, just sometimes slightly different heads on the bolts. But yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and keep coming back for more content like this.